Hi, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel. And we can't say enough about thanking all of you guys for being here, being part of our little itty bitty tiny family out in the middle of this little itty bitty tiny jungle. And we are the people, the family that love the scriptures. We love our Creator. We love His Son. We love the Torah-based community. We love those who love Elohim Most High. And so it is with that we welcome you guys to our little reading here. And what you guys will garner from these readings is we will be reading scriptures. We will be going over Torah commands just like they did back in the days of Ezra, back in the days of Nehemiah, as we go over these beautiful law-keeping commands that all of us have been told for all generations to keep. And with that, welcome aboard. And here's our first song. And this song is out of the book of Psalms 91. And this is all from the Torah Radio Network.
shield and shore. Every step in his love secure. Under your wings I will hide and sing, safe from the arrows the night may bring. Yahuwah, my refuge, my shelter true. No fear remains when I rest in you.
All right, this is Psalms 103 right here.
Forget not his kindness, forget not his ways. Yahuwah shows mercy all of my days. He heals, he redeems, lifts us into flight. Forget not his goodness, his love is light. He forgives each sin we bring, crowns our lives with everything, satisfies our ears with youth, fills our tongues with songs of truth. Forget not his kindness, forget not his ways. Yahuwah shows mercy all of our days. He heals, he redeems, lifts us into flight. Forget not his goodness, his love is light. Yahuwah works righteousness, rescues all the oppressed, slow to anger, rich in love, compassion raining from above. Forget not his kindness, forget not his ways. Yahuwah shows mercy all of our days. He heals, he redeems, lifts us into flight. Forget not his goodness, his love is light. His highest shall be unstretchable, so great is Yahuwah's faithful love. East from west, sins remove, grace and mercy daily prove. Forget not his kindness, forget not his ways. Yahuwah shows mercy all of our days. He heals, he redeems, lifts us into flight. Forget not his goodness, his love is light. Humans fade like passing grass, but his compassion always lasts. From age to age his truth will stand, for all who keep his command. Let Yahuwah, let praises rise, all creation fill the skies with grateful hearts and lifted voice. Forget not, rejoice, rejoice.
right, beautiful family, the final song, and these are all out of Psalms themselves, so it's amazing that we're able to recreate the Song of Psalms and all of the stuff that we are able to put this together. Be still and don't fear.
Be still and don't fear. Yahweh is near. Refuge and strength when troubles appear. The mountains shake and waters roar. Yahuwah is with us forevermore. Nations rage, kingdoms fall, yet Yah speaks peace above it all. The river flows with living streams, filling Zion with coldest streams. Be still and don't fear. Yahuwah is near. Refuge and strength when troubles appear. The mountains shake and waters roar. Yahuwah is with us forevermore. Morning breaks, His help arrives. In His presence, courage thrives. Armies crumble at His word. Power like none ever heard. Be still and don't fear. Yahuwah is near. Refuge and strength when troubles appear. The mountains shake and waters roar. Yahuwah is with us forevermore. Come behold His mighty hand. Ruin scattered through the land. He ends the war, destroys the bow, makes the burning fires blow. Be still and don't fear. Yahuwah is near. Refuge and strength when troubles appear. The mountains shake and waters roar. Yahuwah is with us forevermore. Be still, know I'm Elohim. His whisper calms the rising wind. Yahuwah Sabaoth we trust. Our strong tower, bold and just. Still your heart and hush your mind. Yeah, bring shalom, the perfect kind. Every fear fades out of you when Yah stands strong inside of you. Be still and don't fear. Yahuwah is near. Refuge and strength when troubles appear. The mountains shake and waters roar. Yahuwah is with us
All right, beautiful family. Cade, will you please open us up in prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for this wonderful Shabbat you have given to us, this seventh day of rest that you have set apart thousands of years ago for us to celebrate today. And we thank you for this. We thank you for knowing that we would need a day off, a day to rest and to recharge from all our trials and tribulations. And we thank you for this day, and we thank you for your Son. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your Torah. We ask that your rock today is upon our eyes and upon our hearts, minds, and souls. We dive into your words. We read your Torah. We read the words of your Son. We ask that your blessings are upon us now. We can understand these with open eyes, with open heart, and open mind. Thank you for all in His name. Amen.
Okay, so beautiful family, a Shabbat is an appointed time that has been given to us throughout the generations, through all times. And it is one of these things that everybody, we just went through what everybody calls a Gregorian New Year, all of these celebrations that we have. And it's not a new year for us, right? We have a new year that is in the beginnings of time, right? It's in the beginning of the Aviv. And it's not something that, the Gregorians, we don't even know what year we're in, right? They tell us we're in 2026. But when it comes down to actual timekeeping and all these things, all we really know is a BC and AD. And when it comes to a lot of things in time, the people that have become victors of history are those who control the history. And so this is why we end up with a scriptures that has thousands of times, 7,000 times the name of our creator has been removed. Thousands of times the name of our Messiah has been removed. Throughout all of these things, we are at the end of where we are the beginning of understanding. And we are, I believe, what it would be called the end days, the remnant, those who are waking up to the times and the direction that we are in. And the thing about law keeping is something that's very exciting. It's not something that will darken your life. It's not something that will dampen your fun. It's not something that will cause a rift inside of your immediate family. However, that takes us to, what this does do. And a lot of people, we got an email in this week from a gal that was struggling. She's struggling to know what is the will of Yahuwah and what is the will of Hasatan. How do we know the difference? And one of the things that we can garner from all of scriptures is that if you are a Torah keeper, you are an adversary against Hasatan. And if there is somebody that Hasatan truly wants to have on his side, are those who have become what he could not, what he chose not to become. And we as individuals, we're not promised an easy road. We're not promised something that is comfortable. In fact, when it comes to this outside division, and since all of us have just experienced this Christ Mass, a satanic holiday, we've just experienced yet another New Year holiday. And what do all of these things involve, right? They involve things that are not scripturals. They involve all sorts of this madness. And the question is it from Hasatan or is it from Yahuwah? The thing is, our Yahuwah, we know from the days of Jove, from the days of Jove and from the days of him, that Satan is allowed to test people. And so we're going to end up with a lot of situations, a lot of times where we're very uncomfortable in certain situations. And like I told a brother who's in prison, right? He was convinced that Yahuwah hasn't talked to him, and it's been months. And this was a brother that fell from grace. He was a Torah keeper. He fell. He decided he was going to become a Buddhist. I have worked through him. We have brought him back around. But he just wrote me an email and he says, brother, I hear nothing. And the question I have to him is, what do you want to hear? Because everything that we need to hear has been brought before us in scriptures, in Torah keeping. And like I told him, I said, I am looking at the promises of scriptures that if I will be faithful, that if I will be loyal to the Creator's ways and to what he wants, then he will take care of me. And yes, this life is going to be uncomfortable. I would totally expect us to all end up with very uncomfortable situations that make us question our sanity. Look around us, every single person around us has a little hat on, and they're blowing all these little tools around the time that they're, celebrating all these things, and we're the only ones that don't do this. And this is what being set apart is meant to be. It's not meant to be a joyous journey of a whole bunch of people right now, but the kingdom will come. And the kingdom is going to be set with people that want to do the same stuff that we want to do, which is be obedient to our Creator and his Son. Jade, will you please open us up with our Shema?
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I command you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them as a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house, and on your gates.
Okay, all right. So let us get into this. Is there, what do we got going on?
So I didn't do all messages, it only did top, and so I lost half the people at the top.
You missed
so
everybody?
I will try to remember who I who was there, so if
Yeah.
I miss anybody, I apologize.
Okay,
I
yeah.
will
So,
start.
okay, Miss Nicole, if you will greet our brothers and sisters and family, we love you all.
All right, so we have Chris, we have Scriptures, we have Joanna, we have Sarah and William, Brandy and family, we have Jeremy and Callan, Brian, Honeymoon Stitch, Sue, we have new name, Torah Pursuant Truth Seeker, so welcome to you. We also have another one, Electronic Recreation, welcome to you. Sarah Barb and family, another new name, David. We have Joanna, Rick Johnson, Scrolling.
Might have to speak up a little with that roof. Our roof is a tin roof, and so it sounds like we've got drummers outside our house, and we don't. It's just sound effects. This is how amazing this podcast is.
We have the Grand. There was also another new name that's up top, but I don't have it anymore. But I believe it was Martin. So welcome to you,
Martin, if your name, whoever we missed up there, please, a big warm greeting from all of us. Miss Nicole, do you have anyone else?
That's it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is some very, very exciting things that we do every Shabbat. And every Shabbat, it's as exciting as it was the last Shabbat. Now, when I talk about excitement, these are these rules, regulations, these very easy to follow laws that our Creator has asked us to keep. In fact, it's a sign of loyalty to our Creator if we are willing to do what He says to do. So as we read through these as slowly and meticulously as possible, our hopes and dreams is that everybody reads along and that you assign these to your memory. These are things that as we roll through this crazy dark world that we are in, we're running into situations all the time that we don't have the answers to. And what we can have answers to is things that are inside of Torah. If we have a way that we should lean to the left or to the right based upon the words of the Torah, that's how we need to align ourselves on our lives. And so it's imperative that all of us understand these. And there's only about 150 of these. And so it'll take us about, 15, 20 minutes to go through these. And these are amazing things. So I will start with being fruitful. Very important command.
Multiply.
Replenish the earth.
Subdue it, have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The herb bearing and every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families. Master, sin.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Okay, guys, look at the load of this one, right? If there is a commandment that's bigger than any other commandment that you guys have in scriptures at all, it's that our Creator has told us to guard the covenant, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. That means Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, we take close to us and we do the old proverbial put up your dukes, right? If somebody wants to come up to you and says, you can eat whatever you can do, whatever you want to eat, we're going to call anything that isn't called food, food. You're going to have your handy dandy Torah commands and you're going to go into Leviticus 11 and you're going to go, okay, our Creator says, I don't want you eating this. I don't want you eating this. This is what you're okay to eat. And when you are in Torah, you understand very, very quickly that this whole science that we have been given as the people with the pyramid of food, remember that in school, everybody, these are what you should eat and this is what you should not eat. And we have been lied to about what to eat. And we have people that are qualified in the fields, such as doctors, those who see all the sickness that come in and the lifestyle changes that we have because we're eating unclean food. That's just one certain thing inside of these beautiful Torah commands that when we obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, when we decide to pull off this pious pride and put down our pork rinds and pork chops and nasty food that makes us sick, these are how we begin to guard the laws, statutes, and commandments. So when these people come up to you and they'll quote Paul to you, you pull out your handy dandy Torah commands and you go, nope, I'm sorry, Paul is not my Elohim. Messiah is my leader. Yahuwah is my creator. And I am going to observe and follow the thing that the dynamic duo has assigned us to do. Continuing on.
Every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old.
Keep your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah. Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of Matzah. There was one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name. Do not.
Keep the Shabbat, the Sabbath day. Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock. Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbors. Do not make an altar from rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times. Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with beasts.
No sacrifices to other Elohim. Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset. Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report. Do not follow a multitude of evil.
Do not judge unrighteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger, love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
And, you know, keeping the Feast of Yahuwah is, you know, it seems like a simple command. But, you know, we have, you know, the appointed times that we have as we get into our new year and throughout the years. And, you know, the first part of the year and towards kind of the middle, it's a busy time. When we get into Sukkot, when we get into Feast of Unleavened Bread, when we get into those week-long things where we end up with high Shabbats, keeps us busy. And, you know, a lot of people, they're like, well, we feel real bad because we can't keep Christmas or we can't keep this kind of stuff. Well, you don't need to, because we have appointed times, festivals of times, right? There's some somber times, right? There's a time of atonement, but there's also feast days and fun times. And that's what Sukkot is about, right? It's about camping out and hanging out with all the people that believe the same kind of stuff, that you guys are all wanting to be obedient. That's the kind of stuff that we have. And these are the feasts that we are told to keep, not these pagan holidays. Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey that messenger Yahuwah sends you for you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make use anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make use perfume on a normal person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
You know, it's inside of all these things, right? This is the irony of this whole, let's nail the laws to the cross. You know, if we take a look at, you know, let's take a look at women's time of separation, right? There is a clear law that men are not to approach their women during the time of separation. But we go to the other side of this satanic religious spectrum that says all laws have been nailed to the cross. So all of a sudden, you have defiled yourself, defiled your wife, and done things that you should not be doing when it's the time of women's separation. They're told to be left alone. That takes us to the hygiene laws, right? So we have all of these things about how do we deal with cleanliness? How do we deal with various other things? And when we take these as carte blanche and saying, you know what, none of these laws, statutes, and commandments apply to us at any point, right? Hasatan is celebrating your decision. That is something that makes the hordes of demons celebrate, and you become just another pinnacle on the sticks, on the belt of Hasatan that has your heart, mind, and soul, and he's going to take you all the way to the end. So we can't say that the laws have been done away with. We can't even say that they've been abolished. We can't say any of this because that would be a complete lie. That goes against what we know of scriptures, and nowhere in scriptures do we find anywhere that the laws of our Creator have been abolished. If you want to do this, then you have become a nasty individual because you have defiled your wife. You have become bad because you've been touching corpses, doing all sorts of terrible things. And the problem is, ignorance is not bliss when the day of judgment comes. You're not going to be able to say, well, I didn't know. Nobody ever taught me. I didn't have the ability to, right? If you have 2 eyes and some ears and you can even articulate words and conversations, we have always had the opportunity to choose our Creator, if so that we put that separation into our life and become that road. But it's something that, you know, it's easy to be a child of Hollywood. It's easy to be a child of this world. It's easy to be a child of Christmas and all these satanic holidays. It's easy to be a child of the devil because that's what everybody else is doing. And so you're either going to feel like an outlaw, outcast, or you're going to be the set apart crowd, which is what this is all about. Continue on. Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for a wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children in Moloch. Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh, holy.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
You have a command like this, right? Do not reap the corners of your field. This is for the poor, the broke, the people that cannot afford to stay alive, right? The only hope that these people had at any kind of a meal at all is to be able to go to the edge of a field or to be able to go into whatever was left over and to grab a little bit of food. That is the amazing laws of our Creator that people are, say, abolished. They don't mean anything, right? They've been nailed to the cross. Okay, so if we're nailing this to the cross, then by default, we are taking the starving people and we're making them even more hungry. Do you guys understand what this does? If you take away the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, we create a cataclysmic, just an anomaly of evil that just spirals out of control. This is why we want to be students of all of the Torah, of all of the scriptures, so that we understand this stuff, so we understand how bad it is when people want to take the laws and want to live under another individuals, right? If you don't have the laws of our Creator, whose laws are you under? Right? By default, you're under the laws of Satan. Continuing on, do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor. Another one. Let's not put this on the cross. Let's not be able to deal falsely with them and defraud them. Right? That's the opposite of what we're reading. When you abolish the commandments of our Creator, you're causing dysfunction in the world. Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due. Do not harm the disabled.
Let's put it on the cross, fellas. Let's go beat up those guys in the wheelchairs, right? This is what you're saying, right? If you have a commandment to very clearly take care of the disabled, and that I believe are the widows, the older, those people that are unable to take care of themselves, you put it on the cross. What is the opposite of this, right? Do we really want to be in a society and a world that has abolished a law such as don't harm the disabled? Crazy. Again, do not endanger your neighbor. You drop a giant pine tree on his house, you're endangering him, right? Our Creator set up provisions so that you do your work carefully, that you're not accidentally becoming a murderer. Continuing on.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool. Do not lie with a taken woman. Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head. Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter. Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders. Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in marriage with the nation.
Keep the feast of first fruit, Shavuot, overcount, Pentecost.
Appointed time.
Keep the feast of trumpets, Yom Teruah.
Appointed time.
Give the feast of coat, Shani Atzeret.
Appointed time.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Obel, the Jubilee year. Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against.
The Torah being Nazir.
Wear it easy on the four corners of your garments. The laws of whoever touches a corpse.
Well,
You have a question, sorry.
I have a question. Let's see here. What do you got?
Christina says, do not get tattoos? Question mark.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, let's look at the science behind a tattoo, right? Just the science without the commandment in of itself. When you get a tattoo, and for generations, decades, there's a lot of funky ink, right? There's a lot of metals in ink. There's a lot of it's taken them a very, very long time to come across where they have this, but the art of getting a tattoo is you are literally bloodletting yourself out, right? That's why when you are tatting yourself up, there's blood everywhere. The guy's sitting there with his little rag and he sits there and needles you up a few times, right? We don't have any commandments such as this, but we do know that coming out of Egypt, tattoos were a big thing, right? Everybody's tattooing up. Tattoos have been a pagan thing for generations and generations. Now, Miss Nicole has a little frog on her ankle. And she got that when she was 20 years old. 19 years old. She got a little frog. We were not in Torah. I mean, we weren't even married at the time. And so here we are with a tattoo of a little frog on her leg. What do? Well, number one is in a Torah-based community, we don't get tattoos, right? We don't want to alter ourselves from what our Creator has built for us. If He wanted us to have a giant rose or a giant eagle on our back, you would have been made with a giant eagle birthmark, right? If it was meant to have decor on the side of our heads or sides of our arms or any of that stuff, then we would have been born in the image of our Creator's wishes. That being said, we have been built perfected in the image of our Creator. So we would not want to go and have some rickety shack dude inject us with a whole bunch of stuff and sit there and defile our bodies. And that's the Torah walk. We didn't know this 20 years ago. We didn't even know it 15 years ago. We thought tats were just something cool that everybody's getting. You want to identify with something, or you want a little flare on your arms or something. That's just what you get. But that's not what our Creator wants us to do. And in the terms of being set apart is just that, right? We watch the pagans and the Gentiles rage around us. We just throw our hands up in the air and go, what did David say? Why do the Gentiles rage? Same thing we say all the time, right? It's one of those things. So yeah, we want to be set apart. We want to be Kodesh, and we don't want to be marking ourselves up to that degree. Anything.
He says, so repent and turn away from it?
Yes, absolutely. Repent and turn away and get no more, right? Don't a lot of people get, just like anything else in life, right? As human beings, we have a tendency to get addicted to things. We can get addicted to scriptures, we can get addicted to coffee, we can get addicted to tattoos, and you see those guys that get addicted to tattoos and it's over, right? They have entire bodies covered up with these things, and they don't even look human anymore at that point. And so, yeah, be set apart, repent. That's the best we can do here. We're not going to go under the old laser removal system with Big Pharma system. We're just going to, repent, and hopefully the frog can make it to the Shamayim with Miss Nicole. Okay, continuing on. Anyone know where we're at? The law of whoever touches the corpse?
That's where I'm at, too.
Okay, continue on. Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
Law of keeping your oath through Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the word.
Very important, right? Do not add, do not take away from the word. Do you Sunday worship? Are you worshiping on a Sunday? Now, if you want to worship on a Sunday, there's nothing wrong with worshiping on a Sunday. We should be worshiping on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way. I just named off a whole bunch of pagan days. I'm sorry. But it's one of those things that you're picking the wrong day to worship. If that is the day that you have decided to worship, then you have added to the word. And when you ask the satanic religious system, why do you guys worship on the wrong day? They will tell you it's the Lord's day. That is the day that our Messiah rose from the grave. And because it's not printed anywhere, our Messiah never said it, Yahuwah never said it, that we decided we're going to worship on the next day instead of a Shabbat. So here we are, and you look in Revelations, when you look at Bible prophecy, and you look at the people that have changed laws and times and dates, right? Most of Revelations has come and gone. Most people don't even realize this. I believe most of the stuff in Revelations is completely gone. I believe most of the stuff in Matthew 24 has come and gone. And so when we are adding to and taking away from the word, we're celebrating Christmas, we're celebrating New Year's. That's all adding to and taking away. And so we're trying to separate ourselves as far away from this as possible. And yeah, I'm actively turning from church on Sundays. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, it's not that people aren't beautiful people, right? It's not that people don't have big hearts. It's that people have been deceived, and even with a Bible in front of them, we're willing to believe this grungy old dude, a pastor, some guy that smiles and we went through our guys that we loved, right? The Wilkinsons, all the David Wilkinsons, the guys from way back in the day. And man, they had some powerful preaching. They had some beautiful word. But at the end of the day, the Paul Washers, right? The Paul Washers, and they're like, man, these guys are so close to Torah keeping, but yet they preach a different doctrine. They teach a different doctrine. And that's all adding to and taking away from the word. And if we would have a foundation in the word itself, we wouldn't be doing this and all of this. Continuing on, guard your soul, right? What better thing can we do than to guard our soul? There's nothing else that we have. There's nothing. You're not taking your little car. You're not taking your wallet. You're not taking your family. The only thing you're taking in that last breath is you're taking your soul somewhere. And we have a lifetime right now of testing where we can literally guard our soul, or we can say, you know what? I'm a child of Hasatan. I'm good with Hollywood music. I'm good with Hollywood movies. I'm good with laughing at these disgusting jokes and being a part of this world. Or we can separate ourselves, right? Guard our souls. And again, we look like the freaks. When it comes down to what society literally says is a normal person, we would be considered the freaks. But yet you have the dudes in high heels with earrings on, and we can't say a word about them because that's totally normal, right? This isn't fearing Yahuwah, which is the next command, learning to fear Yahuwah. If we had a fear of the creator of the universe, then we would never cross these lines. We would never do the kinds of things that we are doing in a society that loves our creator. Yeah, absolutely. Come out of her, my people. Yeah, the mother of all harlots, abominations, right? People, it's not just a Babylon in of itself. It's a Babylon system, right? You look at the entire world, and it's all under the hand of Hasatan. Everybody, from all the leaders, the politicians, you do not find people that have not sold themselves out that are trying to represent the people. It doesn't exist in this world. You cannot make it in the big time unless you have sold your soul. And these aren't the people. This isn't our government. These aren't our people at all. And Pentecostals have the spirit, but not looking at the road. I mean, Pentecostals, here's the thing, right? So you're supposed to be able to juggle a snake. You're supposed to drink poison. Everything's supposed to be good. Why in the world would you ever tempt Yahuwah? Why in the world would you ever say, okay, well, I have to be saved from the snake bite on my neck? You can look all over YouTube. There's all these preachers and people, and they're like all bloodied up. They sat there and played with the snakes, and they're dead. There was a preacher and his son, and they both thought they were going to juggle the snake, and the snake took them to school. So why would you ever force your creator to make some sort of a decision like this, right? People can be as rowdy as they want. When people are talking in tongues, guys, they're mumbling, jumbling, doing this demonic speak. What in the world are we doing, right? When you look at the actual art of speaking in tongues, it had to do with a whole bunch of different languages that people were able to understand. It's not this mumbo jumbo that you're spitting out demonic, seance stuff. You have no idea what you're even saying. So those are the religions that you stay away from. In fact, any religion you stay away from. It is a mess. Stay away from them. The churches are absolutely the daughters of Satan. I'm down with that. You guys are exactly right in the chat. Okay, take us to you shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes. Write the laws on your doorpost.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
There you go. There's the Pentecostal guys with their snakes and drinking poison, thinking that they're going to be saved in front of all these people. This has, they're worshiping on the wrong day of the week. Playing with snakes in a temple made by man. What in the world do they expect? Continue on.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah. Do not be afraid of your enemies.
Remember Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart. Cleave to Yahuwah.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images. Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes. Do not hearken the words of false prophets. Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. You shall not eat any abominable thing.
Again, reiteration. It's not that we just have Leviticus 11, but that we have been told, double down, right? Yahuwah doubles down. He doubled down on Leviticus 11. He doubled down again. Don't eat abominable things, right? Pig isn't food. It's never, ever been considered food. Horses, we're to ride them. We're not supposed to eat them. Zebras, right? Giraffes. None of these things are clean foods. They do not process the kind of food, how they eat, how it is safe for us to eat. And why would we ever question the designer of the one who put all this together, right? We're just basically saying, you don't know what you're talking about. I can eat whatever I want to eat. And we're just eating poisons. We're injecting poisons in our bodies at one bite at a time, and as well as everything else. Continuing on. You shall give to a stranger a clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe of your by year.
Laws of the end of the 7-year release. Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart. Shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar. 3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar. There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken to the prophet Yahuwah is chosen.
Prophetess of Deuteronomy. Do not move near his property line. How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
So, I want to jump back to Christina and stuff like this. That's the Pentecostal, that's demonology, guys. When you're sitting there, the mumbo jumbo, and I've listened to it for a little bit. These guys that are sitting there thinking they're speaking in tongues, and it actually sounds really demonic. And nothing, when you look at tongues, the gift of tongues is to understand a language. It is not to sit there and babble in some unknown thing. And then you get, the Palestinians. And the Palestinians are like, well, we got to talk in tongues. Well, if you're not talking in tongues, you don't got the Spirit. There's nowhere in Torah We don't have anything in Torah that says you have the Ruach HaKodesh if you are speaking in tongues, right? This is a man-made doctrine, this entire thing. It happened in Acts. It happened during an assembly where you had all these different people, all these different languages all over across this world, and you had all the disciples, and they were able to speak and to work it with. And you know what they had? They had a little fire above their head. You know, a great wind blasted in, a little fire was above their head, and there they were speaking in tongues. Now, all these other people that are speaking in tongues, you see fire, you have a great wind. Does the church rock and then all of a sudden fire above their heads and everybody understands what everybody says? Or is it some mumbo jumbo world of demonic stuff? And who knows what you're saying, right? I mean, we've heard of people that are, they pretend, right? If you don't have the Spirit, you just pretend. And so you have entire families that have been there for generations that just start flipping around, going crazy. Oh, they got the Holy Spirit. No, they don't. They're possessed. They're possessed by demons. And we need to get out of these man-made churches. Continue on. Yeah. I never felt spiritually comfortable when I heard people talking in tongues. It doesn't say, yeah, it's weird. And it's odd, right? I mean, we don't want to be sitting there when people are saying demonic things, right? If somebody's sitting there cursing or throwing out these wizards and sorcery stuff, I mean, you're not going to stick around, right? It's just not what we want to do. So we want to be set apart people, and tongues and this entire crazy thing it's not part of scriptures. Okay, first child is to get double portions. I don't know if I missed that. How to deal with false witnesses among Torah keepers.
First child get all portions. If your brother is scattered or clothes are lost, you find them, you must return them.
A woman shall not wear it pertains to a man, nor a man wear it pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with a mother and the babies, or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother.
If you build a new house with flat roofs that they lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute. Do not use dirty money.
Law of divorce. Do not take a brother's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress the hired servant that is poor and needy. Every man shall put death for his own sin.
Do not go back for the forgotten sheep in the field, leave for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles.
Yeah. The final point I want to, I think make on this whole Pentecostal, this whole talking in tongues kind of thing is in scriptures in of itself, we don't have any accounts of like a messenger coming down and talking to, say, Ezra. And Ezra's sitting there and this guy's like speaking mumbo jumbo, right? And Ezra's sitting there trying to figure out what is the messenger saying, right? And so we have all of these different times when messengers have come down, when we have burning things in bushes, we have all of these things, and never once do we have anything that even talks about an unknown language that is being spoken. Now, is there one? Probably, right? I mean, there's probably all sorts of different languages, and I mean, it's one of those things, but we don't have a commandment to do it. And so if we are doing it, then we're literally breaking commandments by adding to and taking away from the word. That is the bottom line. So in the event that the Pentecostals are like, hey, this is the way to go, or the Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever it is, right? Let's refer back to the Torah, and the people that have no credibility are the people that will point blank look in your eyes and tell you the laws are dead, right? And then they want to preach to you, right? They want to tell you how great life is under the hands of Hasatan, about how blessed they are. Hasatan runs their entire lives. And again, all we can do is just look at the raging Gentiles and go, you know what? This set-apart lifestyle is the way to be. I don't want to hang with the rest of this crew. It's nasty. Here we are, Devilrium, Deuteronomy chapter 17. Jade, will you please give us a breakdown of where we're at?
We are in the final days of Moses. He is very old, very advanced in years. He has been banned from the promised land. Yahuwah said, you will not enter since you disobeyed me. And he disobeyed it in front of all the people. And Yahuwah gave him a direct command, and he did not show Yahuwah's power to the full extent. Now he is giving basically a recap of the entire Torah to this new generation. Most of the old generation is gone now. They were told they wouldn't enter in because they were disobedient, unfaithful, and they were fearful of the giants. So Yahuwah said they will not be allowed in. So now these people, Moses is giving a recap to the new generation, telling them exactly what they need to do and how they need to do it. And last week we talked about the holy days, the days they're supposed to atone, basically the holidays of Yahuwah's people. Not Christmas or Easter, but days of obedience to Yahuwah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last comment that was in there, she doesn't go anymore, but she said we aren't under the law because of Yahushua shedding his blood for us. Right. And that's what the satanic Christian religion or any religious system it says, right? I don't know of a single law keeping religious system. I don't know of them. I don't, you can't say Sabbath keepers or not Sabbath keepers, but Seventh-day Adventists. You can't say they are Torah keepers because they'll try to keep one law, but at the same time they break a tremendous amount. We're getting to and fro to where they're rolling to. So we need to be, everything with Yah and get away of the rest of this garbage. Here we are, Devarim, chapter 17, verse 1. What do you got, Mr. Cole?
Tina says, where in the Torah does it say that the old laws are dead?
Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere in scriptures, right? It doesn't say. The only thing that you could ever accidentally fall into is the writings of Paul, right? And when it's Paul is the God of the Christian religion, and Catholics too. I mean, they got statues of Paul everywhere, man. They sit down there, they worship idol Mary, idol Paul, idol Peter. I mean, they got Lucifer in the Vatican. I mean, they love them. They love them all. And so, it doesn't say anywhere in scriptures, legitimate scriptures. And if anybody says that Paul's writings are legitimate and you should take them as doctrine, I would strongly discourage that approach, because if there's anything that's ever leading you astray outside of Torah, then you're breaking commands. You're letting Paul be a commandment breaker for you. Because if you are willing to take the writings and the words of Paul over the writings and the words of Elohim Most High, then Paul's your daddy. And we don't want Paul as our daddy. We want, Yahuwah. Continue on. Deuteronomy 17:1. Do not slaughter to Yahuwah your Elohim a bull or sheep which has any blemish, any evil matter, for that is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim, right? Don't be cheap when it comes to the stuff that Yahuwah has given to us. And this is one of these things, right? You're a farmer or you're a rancher, and you always have really good animals, and then sometimes you have the stragglers, the ones that are limp, the ones that have issues, the ones with the bad eyes, things of that nature, right? And so as you're being cheap, these are the things, and this was the same thing, right? The whole Cain and Abel story, the good from the bad. You can't give your handicapped sheep as an offering because it defeats the purpose. The purpose of this animal is that it is supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to crush your heart, mind, and soul when your animal has to die because you have broken laws, statutes, and commandments. But back in the day, the only reason that our Creator would walk with his people was in the atonement of sins, so that there was at least a level playing field when it was there. 2, when there is found in your midst, is in any of your cities which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you, a man or woman who does what is evil in the eyes of Yahuwah your Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other mighty ones and bowed down to them, or to the sun, or to the moon, or to any of the hosts of the Shamaim, which I have not commanded, and it has been made known to you, and you have heard, and have searched diligently, then see, if true, the matter is confirmed, that such an abomination has been done in Yisrael, then you shall bring out to your gates that man or woman who has done this evil matter, and you shall stone to death that man or woman with stones. So this is why we are in a beta male society, right? When you say things like this, right? Oh, this person's been caught in adultery. We need to take them outside the city gates and pick up the rocks and kill them. People are shocked.
And the reason we have to kill these people is because they start leading other people astray, right?
Yep.
You can punish these people and say, okay, go sacrifice your animal, but then other people, they'll still keep doing it.
Yep.
And then other people will follow along, so you have to stop the problem at the root of the problem, which is kill this person.
And it's just like the Christian religion, right? I remember, spending 30 some years in the Christian religion. And every time I would sin knowingly, I would ask Jesus to forgive me. And I could sin like 20, 30 times a day. Jesus was always there to forgive me. That's all I had to do. I could be the wickedest demon walking this lands. And as long as I asked Jesus to forgive me, that was what salvation ultimately is inside of the Christian religion, is that no man can ever take salvation from your hand. This decision can never be pulled away. You are saved. And when you actually read scriptures, everything I just said there is completely false. It doesn't, it's not like that. We've never been told, nobody's ever said to ask Jesus for forgiveness. Messiah Yahushua, right? Let's call him by his Hebrew name, Yahushua. We've never been told to ask Yahushua for forgiveness for our sins, right? Did he become the ultimate sacrifice? Yes, but that is at the hand of his Father. His Father was the one that sent him to do this. And in fact, Messiah Yahushua probably would have done something else had his dad willed it, based upon his own account. Yeah, what about once saved, always saved? You know, Matthew 7 very clearly says, depart from me, you who are lawless, right? In Matthew 7, we very clearly hear about a gate, this little gate. And if you can make it past this gate, which most people do, then to the left and to the right, there's a wide path of destruction. In Matthew 7, it very clearly says most people don't make the kingdom. It's not a lot. As you go through all of the rest of the Apocrypha, Ezra says the same thing, the books of 2nd Ezra, very, very clearly, Ezra is extremely upset when he sees that most of the world has gone into judgment, into a bad place of judgment. And our Creator told Ezra, pull up your knickers, boy, pull up your knickers. Be rejoiceful for those who are making it, those small amount of fraction. And they weighed it out to be a drop of water compared to a wave of those who are saved. Now, if that is the case, how does once saved, always saved fit into this? If it's very, very clear that salvation isn't a secure thing, that we can very clearly do it. Look, I've seen the Torah community all the time. There's guys that come out and start preaching for years and years and years. There's a guy in the parable of the vineyard that was hooked up with Adam. And for 5 years, those two sat and read scripture. That dude turned and went completely atheist. Like he went off the deep end completely to the other side of this entire thing. So I don't know where I'm getting out on this whole thing. I think I went off the deep end.
Once saved, always saved.
Once saved, always saved. It doesn't exist. And this dude, if you think this atheist fella is, because he clearly hates Elohim Most High. He's clearly leading people astray right now. And if that is the case, this homeboy is saved as well. Doesn't make any sense according to scriptures. So continuing on. Yeah, absolutely. Rick Johnson, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, right? Fear Elohim. Fear what sin does to our lives. Fear the corruption that we will allow when sin takes over. Fear that, that we are not walking this Torah as we should be. And here's the positive side of this, guys. We have every single day as a brand new day to work a little bit better, to try to get our lives aligned a little bit better with the Torah, right? It's not a perfect walk. None of us will ever have a perfect walk. And if we make the kingdom, it will only be by mercy of our Creator, because there's not any one of us alive except Messiah Yahushua. That should absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, be accepted with no problem whatsoever. Okay, continuing on. How do we kill these people, guys? At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is to die be put to death. He is not put to death by the mouth of 1 witness.
You imagine that one person says something and they're wrong until he dies.
Absolutely.
Or you have a beef with this guy, or it's your competition in business. Like, easy way to get him out is just go lie about it. So it has to be multiple witnesses to see this.
Right. It has to be absolutely credible witnesses, right? We've seen in the Apocrypha before. Wasn't it the story of Danielle, the other one?
With
Shoshana. What's the Shoshana? Who it's
just Susanna.
Susanna, yeah, Shoshana. Where she was accused of being unfaithful to her husband.
Right.
And there were a couple gardeners out there, and the gardeners, because she wouldn't do with the gardeners, they decided that they were going to frame her. And so they basically said that she was a vile woman. And I think it was Daniel. I think Daniel came along.
No, those two weren't gardeners. They were considered like holy men.
Oh, okay.
But they were caught in the garden.
Caught in the garden with her, right? And they tried to frame this woman, and she would have been dead according to these laws. And this was at the behest of multiple witnesses. But you know what? These witnesses were not credible, because Danielle, the one and only from the lion's den, came out and saved this woman. That's a great story in the Apocrypha. If you guys have not read it, it's the story of Susanna. Okay, 7. The hand of the witnesses shall be first against him to put him to death, and the hand of all the people last. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. Okay, what did that just say, fellas?
Basically, if the first person to throw the stone is going to be the witnesses,
right?
They have to be the first one.
Right. Hold on, guys. Sorry, it's not as bad as it sounds. We just have a bad pit bull that's being bad. And Eli's falling asleep on me, so I'm trying to get him back up.
Away.
Okay. He says he's awake.
I
Hold on.
literally just finished talking to you.
Okay, here we are, guys. Getting with the dogs. Okay, so this stops. What does this stop? By having the witnesses chuck the rocks.
This basically, like, they're the first ones to draw blood. They're the first ones.
You're the first. Yeah, I mean, by being a witness, you
Their
literally.
blood is on their hands.
Yeah, and so literally the blood. And so if you are lying as a witness against this person and you pick up this rock and kill them,
That's murder.
that's bad. It's
and I'm
really,
sure
really
Yahuwah
bad.
does not let that go unpunished. Yahuwah-
Absolutely not. And I mean, you're not just breaking one command. You're lying. You're deceiving.
Killing.
You're murdering. I mean, there's a whole slew of commandments that we are breaking simply by this. Okay, continuing on. The 8. When any matter arises which is too hard for you to judge between blood and blood, family, right? Family, between plea and plea, or between stroke and stroke, matters of strife within your gates, then you shall rise up to the place which Yahuwah your Elohim chooses, and shall come to the Kohanim, the priests, the Lewites, and to the judge who is in those days, and shall inquire, and they shall declare to you the word of right ruling.
So the right ruling would be based upon the Torah.
Yeah.
They'd have to base all because they may not get an answer back from Yahuwah, like you were saying earlier. We have everything we need right here.
Yeah.
Everything that happens with it, they have to base upon the Torah. Does it go against it? Are they obeying Torah? How does this go down?
And this is why we've been given the Torah, guys, so that we can make these decisions in our world as they come across, right? Because all of us, it may not be something of the sort, but it's something that we have to be ready for when this comes around. So continuing on, where are we at, fellas?
I think you're on 10 or 11. I think 10.
10, I think. Okay, let's finish up. Let's do 9.5 there. And they shall declare to you the word of right ruling, and you shall do according to the word which they declare to you from that place which Yahuwah chooses, and you shall guard to do according to all that they instruct you. Now, again, as Jaden said, they're instructing them based upon their instruction of the Torah, right? That's how you can be a fair judge. That's how you can be somebody who is a good person, right? Being a good person means that you're probably going to be judging based upon the Torah, because anything other than the Torah is you're going to make decisions that are poor. You're not doing things at the behest of multiple witnesses. You're not doing it as the Torah tells us to do. And that's the perfection of the Torah, right? When you're looking for a ruling for your life, something that will not lead you astray, we find that in the Torah and the laws of the Torah. 11. Do according to the Torah in which they teach you, according to the right ruling which they say to you. You do not turn to the right or to the left from the word which they declare to you. And the man who acts arrogantly, so as to not to listen to the Kohanim, who stands to serve there before Yahuwah your Elohim, or to the judge, that man shall die. So you shall purge the evil from Yisrael. And so you right there, you can see the chain of command, right? You can see how our Creator gives power to his people, right? If you want to get arrogant and go crazy against the judge or those who are sitting there trying to do their job, right? And these people most of these people wouldn't choose to go and judge other people's problems, right? It has become out of the possibility that they could solve this themselves. And so it has to go to these people. And they didn't ask to do this, right? Nobody wants to sit here and judge people and their issues. 13. And let all the people hear and revere, and no longer do and which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell in it. You shall say, let me appoint a sovereign over me, like all the Gentiles that are around me. You shall certainly appoint sovereign over you, whom Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose. Appoint a sovereign over you from among your brothers. You are not allowed to appoint a foreigner over who is not your brother. Now, this is a little bit of foreshadowing, right? Because at this time in their lives, we don't know of Israel wanting a king, wanting a sovereign. They knew and they accepted Moshe as their leader, and they accepted Yahuwah as their sovereign. So what our Creator is saying things right here are things that won't even be done or deployed until the days of Shaul, right? Until the days of Saul and David and all those guys, where the people demanded that they have a king. And Yahuwah's like, don't do it. Shemuel, he's like, don't do it. And it became an issue, right? And ever since the days of them forcing them to have a king, everything has been in complete shambles and disarray up to the time of David. And then after David, it was just a mess. All of them. David's kids himself, they all became rebels, rogues. Okay, Continuing on. It's 16, right?
16,
yeah,
yeah,
16. Only, this is the king, he is not to increase horses for himself, Torah command for kings, right? Nor cause the people to return to Mitzrayim to increase horses, for Yahuwah has said to you, do not return that way again. So here we have Solomon, Solomon's crimes, right? Solomon knew the Torah, but Solomon had thousands of horses. I mean, this dude had like horses.
I mean,
He had horses, and he had wives that many as well.
We're about to get to that.
Okay, and he is not to increase wives for himself, as we said, lest his heart turn away, nor is he to greatly increase silver and gold for himself.
Well, that's Solomon did every single one of those.
Solomon broke every single one of these commandments.
I feel like to a point, so did David. He had about 20 wives. So
David had, that's the thing. The kings, it's easy for a king to fall into disarray because of the power. And, the saying is absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I don't think I've ever met somebody that's come into money or power that, years from whenever it happened, that they are the same person, right? They're always different. Everything, it changes people. And, Solomon literally sacrificed to a fake Elohim, a lowercase god, one of his wives of gods. And why did he do that? Right? Because he was mixed in with the Gentiles. He went and got foreign women, foreign wives, foreign doctrine. All of these people that he got, they already had their own gods. They already had many, 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 many gods. This was just one more god to them, and it really didn't matter. And so Solomon himself was ripped away. His kingdom was ripped away. It was in shambles. And it's because when we disobey the word of our Creator, it brings generational curses. And the generational curses isn't that your kid is cursed by Elohim himself. It's that the things that we do carry on. A lot of us have grown up in alcoholic houses, drug abused houses, all of these places that it becomes a problem. Women are being beat, kids are being beat, all of these kind of things, right? We have to make sure that what we are doing is based upon Torah. And this is why Torah is very, very, very important. Okay, 19. Is 18?
I think
Okay, 18.
Yeah,
Again, and this is a big thing, right? This is something that all of us can do, right? We don't have to be a king for this. And it shall be, when he sits on the throne of his reign, that he shall write for himself a copy of this Torah in a book from the one before the Kohanim, the Levites. Now, we don't exactly know what they wrote, right? We don't know if it was the Torah commands. We don't know if it was word for word. We don't know if it's jot for jot. We don't know what it was that they're supposed to write. But this is one of the reasons that we as a family, with you guys as our family, read through the Torah commands every Shabbat. It's one of these things. We don't have to wait years. We don't have to wait to Sukkot. We can reiterate these every single week and write them on our hearts, minds, and souls as we have been told and as we have been commanded, and use them as part of our life. 19, and it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, so that he learns to revere Yahuwah as Elohim and guard all the words of this Torah and these laws, do them, right?
Imagine if they actually did that.
Imagine if we did this. Imagine if all of us, guys, this is the same commandments. This isn't just a commandment to the people of the future. This is a commandment to us that are in right now. We are supposed to read the Torah all the days of our lives so that we learn from it, right? We learn that Elohim, Most High, there's no one greater. There's no bigger creator. There's no one more concerned with our existence than our dad, our father, our legitimate designer. And this is why when we find the Torah and we observe these laws, that it's loyalty. Why would we not want to do what the creator of the universe has asked us to do? Continuing on, he needs to do these laws so that his heart is not lifted up above his brothers, and so as not to turn aside from the command right or left, so that he belongs or prolongs his days in his reign, he and his children, in the midst of Yisrael.
If Solomon would have read this every single day, he would have known not to have all these wives. He would have known not to sacrifice to other Elohim and to instruct his children in the way of the Torah, and then Yisrael wouldn't have had the fall it had.
And that's a sickness that is inside of sin, right? It only takes a little bit of sin to corrupt things for a long time. We don't have to, it usually is, we're willing to do something that compromises the Torah. And then the next time we just compromise it a little bit more. And then pretty soon we're just disobeying the entire command. We don't even care anymore. And so we got to do what's right in the eyes of Yahuwah through all things. Okay, here we are. Yochanan 11, Jade, will you please give us a breakdown of where we're at?
Joshua is in near the holy city, and he has been being attacked. The people said they want to stone him. He starts talking about how he is the shepherd of the sheep, and that entering through the sheepfold, and if they do not enter through the door of the sheepfold, then they're trying to take them away from the Father. And he explains exactly what the parable is, and then the people start saying he's blaspheming it, and he's like, "How am I blaspheming? I do the works of my Father." They do not believe he is the Father, or the Son. They believe that he is basically just some other dude who's made himself equal to Yahuwah, and that he clearly never said that. And they are, at this point, they really want to kill him, but he says that he is doing everything that has been instructed, and he is not doing anything except against their traditions.
Okay. All right. Yochanan, chapter 11. And a certain one was sick, Eleazar, from Bet Aniah, the village of Miriam and her sister Martha. Now it was Miriam who anointed the Adon with perfume and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Eleazar was sick. Therefore the sisters went to him, saying, Adonai, see, he whom you love is sick. But when Yahushua heard, he said, the sickness is not unto death, but for the esteem of Elohim, so that the son, the ben of Elohim, might be esteemed by it. Now Yahushua loved Martha and her sister and Eleazar. Therefore, when he heard that he was sick, then indeed he stayed at the place where he was 2 more days. Okay, this is something might be confusing to people, right? Messiah Yahushua is a healer. He can heal all sorts of different diseases. He can heal all this stuff. And we have a friend of his, somebody who Messiah loves, Martha and Miriam and Eleazar. And so the statement is he stayed at the place where he was 2 more days. What did this ensure?
That he would get sicker.
Yeah, they'd probably be dead, right? He was there for the dead at that point to show the living that death was not susceptible to outside of his voice. And what we're about to experience here is one of the more public displays of things, right? You have all these other accounts where there were dead arrays, there were people that blind were seen. Messiah's instructions to everybody was don't tell anybody, right? Whatever you do, don't tell anybody. And as Messiah's ministry got further along into his part of it, where he knew his time was up, all of a sudden he was, it went from don't tell anybody to go tell everybody in this town what you have seen. Demons being cast out of people, go tell the rest of them, praise Elohim. This is a time for letting it be known. And this was a breaking point in his ministry right here. Then after this, he said to the Talmudim, let us go back to Yehuda. The Talmudim said to him, Rabbi, the Yehudim are now seeking to stone you, and you are going back there. Now, why are the people trying to kill Messiah?
Because he said he was a Messiah. He said he was the son of Elohim, and they didn't like that. He said he was the chosen one to save them all.
Yeah, and he also said things like this temple, not one stone of this temple will be left, and people didn't understand it. These people were the power professing religious zealots. And again, I'm not saying the zealot as in the zealots that were the zealots back in the day. We're just talking about a fanatical style of religious and system. And, it doesn't matter that they're in the, they are called Jews themselves or in the Yahudium. They still have added to and taken away from the Torah. From the days of them going inside of Babylon, that is when they ended up with this oral Torah, the Talmud, the Kabbalah, the Zohar. You have hundreds of other documents. You have thousands of other rules. And you have all of these things that these people stack on the people when Sabbath keeping isn't as crazy as they would like to see, right? We don't have to hire somebody who doesn't believe what we believe to flip our lights on and off. We don't have to have somebody that rips our toilet papers on a Friday before Shabbat because we don't want to rip toilet paper, right? These are all things that have come out of a religious system where we keep adding to and we keep taking away from it. And the problem with the laws and the legalism, like true legalism, and I'm not talking about Torah keeping. Torah keeping isn't legalism. What I call legalism is Talmudic law, where they have everybody to do something and it's like they will not do it themselves, the entire kosher thing, right? It's all outside of what Torah has told us to do. 9, Yahushua answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks in the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him. He said this, and after that he said to them, our friend Eliezer has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up. Now, Messiah also said that a little girl had fallen asleep before, and there were only a couple apostles that actually had seen and encountered the raising of the dead, but they were instructed to tell nobody. But Eliezer has fallen asleep, and to the humans out there, we're in tears, we're shocked, because that was a friend of Messiah's. That was somebody he had dined with, somebody he had been a part of their lives. 12. Therefore the Talmudim said to him, Adonai, if he has fallen asleep, he shall recover. But Yahushua had spoken about his death, whereas they thought that he spoke of taking rest and sleep. So when Yahushua said to them plainly, Eliezer has died. And for your sake, I am glad I was not there in order for you to believe. But let us go to him. Toma, who was called the twin, then said to his fellow Talmudim, let us also go so that we die with him. Now, why would he say this? What do you mean? Why is this guy saying he's going to die with him?
Well, I mean, they're already trying to stone Yahushua, and they don't want to go without him. They want to be with him. So if they're going to die, they're going to die with him instead.
Yeah, going back to where they were going is a bad deal. Messiah was a wanted man at this point. He was, he couldn't go up to the temple, and he couldn't go ripping around these guys because these guys were all looking for him, right? They already had their little temple guards all set up. They already were working through all of this stuff. And so Toma was tripping out because he's like, well, I guess here we go. I guess if we're going to go, we're all going to die with him anyway. Therefore, when Yahushua arrived, he found that he had already been 4 days in the tomb. Now, Bethaniah was near Jerusalem, about 15 stadia away. And many of the Yahudim had come to Martha and Miriam to comfort them concerning their brother. Martha then, when she heard that Yahushua was coming, met him, but Miriam was sitting in the house. Martha then said to Yahushua, Adonai, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you might ask of Elohim shall give you. Now there's some faith, right? There is some faith of people, right? What has happened, but I know that if you are willing to do this, it will be done. Yahushua said to her, your brother shall rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Yahushua said to her, I am the resurrection and the life, the Kai. He who believes in me, though he dies, he shall live. And everyone that is living and believing in me shall never die at all. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Adonai. I believe that you are Hamashiach, the son, the Ben of Elohim, who has come into the world. And having said this, she went away and called her sister Miriam secretly, saying, the teacher is here and calls you. Now, this goes to the Christian religion, right? They will take a verse out of this, right? And they will say, 25 and 26 very clearly says, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he dies, he shall live. And everyone that is living and believing in me shall never die at all. Okay? Based upon these two verses right here, the only doctrine that we would have is that we have to believe that Messiah Yahushua is Messiah Yahushua. But the problem is, this isn't the only doctrine. We have from the front of the book all the way to the very end of the book, and we know from the front of the book that Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, right? Every single one of these individuals, our forefathers, were believers. They were faithful in their belief. They did what the creator of the universe said to do. So if we are the people that believes in a Messiah and we are Torah-less, Matthew 7 says, depart from me, you who are Torah-less. So how can we make these words fit together? Well, you can't take it without the rest of the chapter, right? You can't take it without the rest of the book. We can't just read one or two verses and come to some conclusion that this is the way it is when we have the beginning of the book all the way to the end of the book, as well as the Apocrypha. Continuing on.
23, I think.
28, I think, isn't it?
Read that part.
I believe that you...
Yeah, because it calls you 29.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
29. And having said this, she went away and called her sister Miriam secretly, saying, the teacher is here and called you. When she heard, she rose up quickly and came to him. And Yahushua had not yet come into the village, but was in the place where Martha met him. Therefore the Yahudim who were with her in the house and were comforting her when they saw that Miriam rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, she is going to the tomb to weep there. Miriam, therefore, when she came where Yahushua was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Adonai, if you had been there, my brother would not have died. Yahushua, therefore, when he saw her weeping, and the Yahudim who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled and said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Adonai, come and see. Yahushua wept. The very shortest, this is the short scriptures, in all scriptures, right? Why did Messiah Yahushua weep? Because he saw the crushing spirit of the people around him. And if the love of the Son can see the brokenness of the human spirit, imagine Elohim Most High Yahuwah, as he sees us struggling, as he sees our hearts that are broken, as he sees our struggles, right? This is what this human experience is all about. It is a test. And so here, Messiah Yahushua wept. 36. Then the Yahudim therefore said, see how he loved him. And some of them said, was this one who opened the eyes of the blind not also able to prevent this one from dying? Lots of questions, right? Everybody has heard this, right? Well, why didn't he come and save him? Messiah very clearly said it was to show people this act. 38. Yahushua therefore, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb. Now it was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Yahushua said, take the stone away. Martha, the him who had died, said to him, Adonai, already he smells, for it is 4 days. He stinketh, right? This is, in other texts, this is what it is. He stinketh. There's some problems. This dude has been dead for 4 days, and it doesn't matter what thing dies. 4 days later, it's a rough smell. Yahushua said to her, did I not say to you that if you believe, you shall see the esteem of Elohim? One thing to note, right? Messiah never says, this is the esteem of me, right? He never says, look at what I can do. He said, look at my power. Look how amazing I am. Look at the Ruach HaKodesh that I wield. He always says, you shall see the esteem of Elohim. Big Daddy,
And
Pops.
the same thing applies to us. If we believe, we will see the esteem of Elohim as well.
Absolutely. And prayer, supplication, loyalty to the Torah, that is how we are going to get the promises of what scriptures say. Continuing on. So they took away the stone where the dead man was laid. And Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. Now, again, I'd like to point out, this is a Trinity breaker, right? If our Messiah was talking to himself right here, that he had heard him, right? This is like, Jason, I'm glad that you heard yourself. And you're just like, I hear myself all the time. I shouldn't be congratulating myself. I think about things, right? This is our Creator's Son thanking his dad that he heard him. And I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd standing by, I said this in order that they believe that you sent me. So again, this entire prayer, this entire presentation right before the miracle was for the big reveal, right? You had all these people lined up outside of a tomb. Eleazar was a prominent person. This was a big ordeal. There's a lot of people there, right? You had had a little bit of everybody that was standing outside of this tomb, and you had Messiah as the presenter of this miracle. 43. And when he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, Eleazar, come out. And he who died came out bound feet and hands with wrappings, and his face was wrapped with the cloth. Yahushua said to them, loosen him and let him go. Now, what do you think this entire group of people, do you think this group of people ran closer to the guy stumbling out of the grave?
Probably not. Probably step back.
Yeah, this is probably something you've never seen and probably something you don't want to see. And I would imagine his wrappings smell a little foul, right? You don't get wrapped up in stuff that is... nothing ages well when you die, right? Your body decomposes, everything you have, it decomposes. It's a lot like leprosy, right? It doesn't do well for your clothes. Continuing on, 45. Therefore, many of the Yahudim who had come to Miriam and had seen what Yahushua did believed in him. But some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them what Yahushua did. So the chief Kohanim and the Pharisees gathered a council and said, what shall we do? Because this man does many signs. If we let him alone like this, they all shall believe in him, and the Romans shall come and take away from us both our place and nation. Okay, now this is the crime, right? This is the crime that these Pharisees and Sadducees and these holy, whatever you want to call them, right? This is their intent, right? We don't want to have our place taken away and our nation. One thing is a nation, right? Ezra cries for the nation. That's one big thing. But as far as our place, right? We don't want to lose our governing positions of power, right? This entire decision was made upon a power trip. This was not good thinking. This was not critical thinking. This was not something that made any sense according to the Torah. In fact, that's what Messiah Yahushua called all these people out, right? They accused him. They wanted to kill him. And they didn't use the Torah to convict him at all. Continuing on.
I feel like these people are pretty faithless, that Yahuwah was not going to protect him. This dude's doing signs and wonders. This dude has some serious powers. Like, you don't think Yahuwah is going to protect you from the Romans.
Yeah, and that's the thing is in their world, they were looking for a Messiah as well. Unfortunately, they missed the boat when it literally came. 49. And one of them, Caiaphas, being Kohen and Hagdadal that year, said to them, "You know not, neither do you consider that it is better for us that one man die for the people than that the entire nation should perish." And he probably said it really evil just like that, too. You can see this dude is like some sort of evil dude for sure. 51. But he did not say this from himself, but being Kohen and Hagdadal that year, he prophesied that Yahushua was about to die for the nation, and not for the nation only, but to gather together into one the children of Elohim who were scattered abroad. So from that day on, they plotted to kill him, Messiah Yahushua. Yahushua therefore no longer went openly among the Yahudim, but went there to get the country but went from there into the country near the wilderness to a city called Ephraim and remained there with his Talmidim. Now the Pesach, where are we at, 9? 11:55, there we go, sorry. Now the Pesach, Passover of the Yahudim was near, and many went from the country up to Jerusalem before the Pesach to kadosh themselves. And so they were seeking Yahushua and spoke among one another, standing in the Mikdash. What do you think? Is he not coming to the festival at all? And both the chief Kohanim and the Pharisees had given a command that if anyone knew where he was, he should disclose it in order for them to seize him. Okay, there we are, everybody. That is the end of this. And we can't thank you guys enough for everybody who hangs out now, everybody that hangs out in the future. We love you all. We love you all tremendously. We hope that you guys are truly keeping these beautiful laws, these statutes and commandments that have been given to us by our Creator. And I hope that you guys are keeping these Kodesh days, these appointed times, Shabbat. All right, Jade.
Okay.
Give us our blessings to our brothers and sisters.
Yahuwah barak you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
Okay. Much love, y'all. We got a couple songs to take you out with. This one is Wakra 26.
If you walk with me, I'll walk with you. Rain in its season and the sky's made blue. But if you turn away, refuse my call, your pride will break, your strength will fall. If you got my Torah and keep my ways, I'll multiply shalom in all your days. Fields will flourish, barns overflow. Fear will vanish wherever you go. 5 will chase 100 away. 1,000 flee when you stand and stay. I'll set my dwelling among your land. Walk with you, hold your hand. Torah. Walk with me, choose life again. I'm faithful through all where you've been. So take his way and hold him tight. Walk in truth and choose the right. Be rock, flow like a steady stream when you walk in Yah's redeeming dream. Oh, I'll walk with you. Rain in its season, skies made. If you turn away, refuse my call. Your pride will break, your strength will fall. Oh, if you walk with me, I'll walk with you. Rain in its season, skies made. If you turn away, refuse my call. Your pride will break, your strength will fall.
All right, brothers and sisters, before we go to the next song, I'd like if you guys would lift a brother of ours in the prison system up in prayer. His mother's name is Susan, and he's in prison for a very, very long time. And his only wish right now is that he's able to see his mother one last time. She has some heart issues, and it looks like it's going to take her. He was notified this week that he needs to be making plans for this. And this is an old gangbanger that I've been working on for years now. And he was not a Torah keeper when I met him, and now he's a leader in a Torah-based community. And my fear is that, I've seen a lot of these guys lose their parents in prison, and a lot of guys, they will just go berserk, and a lot of bad things will happen. So the prayers are that, if it's Yah's will, that he is able to see his mother one last time, and that Yah will work with him through these trying times. His name is Justin Soto, and his mom's name is Susan. So guys, I appreciate that. And, we're going to end this on a good note. This is the book of Joshua, right? Be brave, be strong.
Be strong, be brave. Yah walks with you. Every promise stands true. Step forward now. No need to fear. Yahuwah, your strength is near. Moshe is gone. The mental falls. Yahuwah speaks. Yehoshua recalls. Cross this horizon lead. I supply your every need. Wherever your foot makes claim, I give the land in my name. Be strong, be brave. Yah walks with you. Every promise stands true. Step forward now. No need to fear. Yahuwah, your strength is near. No man stands before your face. As I was with Moshe, so my grace goes with you in every fight. Daytime, heat, or darkest night. Guide the Torah night and day. Do not turn from my way. Be strong, be brave. Yah walks with you. Every promise stands true. Step forward now. No need to fear. Yahuwah, your
All right, beautiful family, the last and final song that we have is out of First Kings, First Melechium 3.
Give me wisdom, Yahuwah's light. Guide my judgment, make things right. Not for riches, earthly fame, just a discerning heart in your name. Yamala shalom, all bowed in prayer, humbled by the royal chair. Yahuwah, he cried, I'm but a youth. Teach me to walk in your truth. Grant me wisdom to judge this land. Lead with justice, rule by your hand. Give me wisdom, Yahuwah's light. Guide my judgment, make things right. Not for riches, earthly fame, just a discerning heart in your name. Yeah, I replied with favor deep. Your request I gladly keep, because you asked for righteous ways, not long life or wealthy days. I give you wisdom, none can compare, riches and honor beyond what's fair. Give me wisdom, Yahuwah's light. Guide my judgment, make things right. Not for riches or earthly fame, just a discerning heart in your name. To mothers came with trembling tone, one living child, one sorrow shown. Shalom was spoke with sharp insight, truth revealed in Yah's pure light. Give me wisdom, Yahuwah's light. Guide my judgment, make things right. Not for riches or earthly fame, just a discerning heart in your name. Wisdom flows where pride steps back. Yah reveals what we might lack. Hearts made pure, decisions clear, when Yah's presence draws near. So grant me wisdom in every choice, tune my ear to hear your voice in all my ways. I bow and say, lead me, Yahuwah, day by day. Give me wisdom, Yahuwah's light. Guide my judgment, make things right. Not for riches or earthly fame, just a discerning heart in your name.
All right, beautiful family, may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine upon you. May the magnificence of the Torah always be a part of your life. May Messiah Yahushua always be the king of our future generations. And may we all congratulate each other on a job well done, keeping Torah, being loyal to our Creator in the kingdom to come. Shabbat shalom.